Okay, am I the only one on the show, I guess?
From the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker, we're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
Hi, everyone, and I am wearing my Guns Out Range Day 2022 shirt, and we might be doing it again. Twice a year, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe we'll be doing something else. But we have some good ideas here. And yeah, there is some really cool stuff in the works that I think you all will want to know about. But I'm not going to really talk about that too much here because we are having a special guest who knows what not to do with a firearm now. He had to learn the hard way, but through his pain and suffering, we can all learn a little bit about everything. As you can see, we also have Hoffman and Shooting Gallery New England on the show, as well as Rich. Paul Cullen is out there as well. Hi, Paul. How are you doing, man? Great stuff there. Let's go ahead and bring on Rich. Rich, how are you doing?
Crumpy! Not as good as you. I mean, my cars and coffee consisted of getting dirty under a truck. Your cars and coffee was hanging out with guys with Lambos and McLarens.
Yeah. Something that I will probably never, ever get to own because I am not rich like that. But whatever.
You could at least rent one for a day.
Yes. We also have Something Original. We're going to get to him pretty soon. And
it's all party people.
Gallery New England. And not only that, we also have
the
Hoffman. Hoffman is a freaking awesome dude.
Not Hoffman Tactical.
Not Hoffman Tactical.
Not Hoffman Tactical.
I won't wave my
Shooting Gallery. I'm sorry.
I am here, but look at that.
Look at that. 2A EDU's hitting us up with $5. Thank you.
Thank you, 2A EDU. How are you doing, my friend?
And I'm guessing we're probably going to see him shortly.
Yep. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Do we have to?
Bending Ballistics is out there?
Yeah, he's going to be on my show tonight with Bullets for Bucks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, 7:30 instead of 7.
Oh, yeah. I was talking to Bending Ballistics. He's putting in another transfer case into his truck. And he's not rock crawling and breaking it up that way. It's just BS.
Yeah, they totaled my car out, so now I got to get a new car.
What are you looking at? Don't tell me the Subaru. Don't tell me the Subaru.
I was looking.
What's wrong with the Subaru? I drive one.
You eat frog raw, drink lattes with your pinky up. What?
I was gonna get a cross track. I wasn't gonna get like a WRX.
Dude, that's what I'm telling you. Go for it.
All right. Richard Monder has a WRX.
Yeah. Well,
that was for the $5. The $5.
Yeah, a little late on the Wolverines there.
Yeah, I know. And remember, Black Swan Tactical will be closing in 10 days. Forever.
10 days?
Yeah.
So what happens to everything in stock?
goes into my private collection.
Uh-huh.
No, I'll be giving a lot of crap away. Rich, like you'll get a bunch of patches.
Okay. So,
I mean, I like patches, just throwing it out there.
well, you can bring them when I see you.
Yeah.
We're all seeing each other next week. Me and Crumpy are going to be riding down. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm going to blow that popsicle stand before Shooting Gallery New England gets in the car.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just joking, dude. It's gonna be awesome. Shooting Gallery New England is going to be riding with me down from Atlanta
Cool.
down to
We
Range.
have to play, Southern Hospitality by Ludacris as we're driving through Atlanta, though. Like, it's only fitting.
Well, okay.
So Ron Wayne is out there. Is Ron Wayne at like 8,900 subs or 9,800 subs? I forget what it is.
Dude,
But he's way the heck up there.
He blew way past John Crump alive. He was on the hills of
He's killing it.
John Crump.
Ron Wayne, where was he? He was 9985. Yeah, that was it. So
okay. So I want to talk about a little bit about range day and review a little bit of stuff. We also want to get into what is going on with someone's hand. So where do you want to go first? Other way, Rich.
well, does everybody know who Scotty is? Over there?
Let's go ahead and talk to him.
Yeah, let's introduce him.
Is
what's up, guys? Name's Scotty. I go by Something Original X on YouTube. I was actually the guy who won the CRS Firearms Body Armor Challenge, and I promised really high quality, consistent content, and then never got around to it. So now I'm just trying to make mediocre content and make that more consistent. I'm definitely going to milk this for every penny that it's worth, though. Don't you worry about that.
All right. Well, let's talk about what happened.
Hold on. Before we do that announcement, Ron Wayne needs 2 subs to get to 10,000.
Dude, go to Ron Wayne and sub the motherfucker.
I'll drop the link, but if you want to search, it's Ron Wayne BB Guns, and you'll find it on YouTube.
That's
Hang on, I'm looking.
He is somebody I want to have on the show.
I don't think Ron Wayne talks. I don't think he talks on camera.
Even on an interview show. Well, whatever. Just go sub to him.
That's another story.
Wear like a hockey mask when you're on stream or something.
Yeah, like Sabar Prince used to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sabar did the facial reveal on the show.
All right, just sub to him.
Okay, one more, then we got it done. Okay, so what happened to your hand?
Okay, so obviously due to YouTube restrictions, I can't show a firearm, so we're just going to show this as a prop. It's about the same size. I had a Carl Walther Model 4 32 ACP that was given to me from my grandfather. Slide is about this big, and large hands and small slides don't combine too well. The firearm did not actually malfunction. It was old ammunition. I'm going to misquote this heavily, but what I believe happened, what was told to me, the nitrate from the primer had actually leaked out onto the base of the cartridge. And when I had cocked it, one round in the magazine, there was no slide lock, so I just had to let it go. And obviously, one of the primary rules of firearm safety, this thing is a death beam, and it does not discriminate, as shown by me. As soon as that slide slammed home, detonated the cartridge, and I had a entry wound right. Actually, I'll demonstrate it here. Entry wound, center of the palm, exit wound, the karate chop part of the palm. Thankfully, I'm making a full recovery, though, and I can move all of my tendons and phalanges.
Yay!
That is amazing that you can you didn't get more damage than what happened.
I have an explanation for that.
That's why you never do what all these pinheads want you to do and go like this with the gun. You always go like this.
Yeah. It's
the
funny.
Rear of the slide. That's why they originally put the slide serrations there.
Well,
right.
The guy,
Now it's fashionable to have the front serrations, and definitely could be easy to do that.
Tons of people they put their hand over the muzzle.
Well, the guy that was talking about how I was unsafe with my holster test was holding his finger on the trigger while having his hand in front of the muzzle multiple times, and he's sitting there talking.
And he's a qualified instructor. What do you say? He's been instructing for 10 years or 20 years or 100 years?
So I just want to know, before we get into this, have you gotten before we get into Scott Crump, have you got a cease and desist from said people yet?
What are they going to cease and desist me on?
I don't know. Have you got any
Ron Wayne is 10,001 subs right now.
Let's
awesome.
go.
Congratulations, Ron Wayne.
Ron. You deserve it.
Very good.
No, I'm not going to cease and desist because there's nothing to cease and desist. What are they going to say?
Well, so what I got to say to that is if they do sue Crump for anything, Discovery is a bitch. You don't want Discovery going on, because that means all of the information gets pulled out in the open about what's going on, and it's going to be very evident everything that they're doing that isn't right.
What are they going to do? Oh, yeah, he bought it with his own money. That's what Discovery will show on my side.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. There's the whole caveats between publicist and the other one. Does that have anything to correlate with YouTube? Because you're just an independent source, and again, you've purchased that holster from that company, so you're open to comment about it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That mic drop, though, I will say, thug life. That's exactly.
Oh, when I showed like the testing,
Yeah,
with all the different, like, dude, I wouldn't just do it with one gun. I didn't say I had anything about. I didn't say I had other guns, but I figured that she probably would. So I was like, I'll just keep this in my back pocket until I need it.
and then mic drop.
One more thing about that is, I think it's a little interesting that she has her comments turned off.
Yep.
Well, she said the negative comments about her holster.
I mean, look, I have comments turned on all of my videos, and
We could go through and see all the nasty comments I got on my videos.
Right. And you know what?
I don't delete my nasty comment. The only comments I delete is like from scammers.
Well, scammers, like if I get scammers commenting or like some racist stuff, I was like, whoa, I'm like, delete. I just don't want to be associated with that.
No, I just delete scammers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why you deleted me, Rich?
The racist and the scamming, yes, you're a double header.
Yeah, I have deleted a video or two, but that's for very specific reasons.
Well, we know you've had at least one deleted.
Well,
I've deleted videos if I see the performance tops out, and I'm like, it's not worth having it on. So CRS Firearms, Matt Hoover, says, basically, if you're not getting 1 sub per 1,000 on the video, delete it. So there's videos that I had pretty poor performance on, and it was more just kind of a channel update. And usually I'll post it on a Sunday, and 72 hours later I'll delete it, because it doesn't get any traction after that. The people that care watched it, boom, then it's gone.
You post on Sunday?
Sometimes.
Sundays are actually pretty good.
Yeah,
really,
depending. Yeah, like my cigar channel does pretty good if I ever post on a Sunday.
I mean, I don't usually post on Sundays just because I don't want to post on Sundays. But if I post on a Sunday, it does good.
I post whatever day I get the video done on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Usually I'm busy on Sundays with family stuff, so
keep them guessing.
Alan Powell, thank you very much, man. But I look like a Grantham son.
Nah.
Let's take a look at this.
Oh, sorry.
I need the flannel though.
So I was just looking through her tactical, and they have comments turned on other videos, just not this one, or just not the ones.
People are putting comments. I'm not going to tell anyone to go put a comment on any of the other comments.
Posted, and I said, hey, just let her know what you think in the comments. I didn't tell anybody what to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was a video, and
and seriously, I get the video I got probably the most comments on is a Colion Noir video where I'm critiquing him on the FN MDX. Is it MDX? RDX?
MDR.
MDR.
I knew the pointer safety, right?
Yeah. So I actually got called a racist by somebody. It's like, well, it's in your DNA, and he doesn't look like you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be critiquing him. I'm like, you obviously don't know who I am. Because I critique everyone. Well, that too, but I actually looked up to Colion Noir until he did the BDU softcore interview, or softball, I should say. Softcore is different. When he whitewashed BDU, I was like, yeah, he's dead to me. He's a sellout.
I'm done with the BDU versus Rare Breed drama. I mean, that's just getting stupid.
So Big Daddy Unlimited is a company in Gainesville. I'm not going to trash him right now, but if we see each other over a cup of coffee or beer, I'll tell you the whole story. But BDU, the short story that he was dealing with was they participated in a gun buyback with the Gainesville police. So everybody was trashing him, and then Colion does a sit-down video with them. And, I mean, he lives in Texas. They're in Gainesville, Florida. I don't know who went where, but we're talking big bucks to get a softball interview where Colion kind of whitewashed them. And I don't mean to... I don't fault anyone for pimping a product, and I'm not pimping Franklin Armory for any reason. I got a t-shirt. But I don't, look, if it's a good product, feel free to talk about it and tell people to use it, whatever.
Safety doctors out there. Yeah, I mean, I've turned down sponsorships, not just Manscaped.
I still think that's funny. You got Manscaped reaching out to you. That's funny as hell.
Yeah,
or what about your boy, Raid Shadow Legends?
I have not had Raid Shadow Legends reach out to me yet. I'm sure that's coming, but no. For example, there was a company producing a Force Reset trigger reaching out to me, and I don't want to promote a product that might get my viewers hemmed up if I say, hey, it's not going to get you hemmed up, and you get hemmed up. Now, if they
if you get a knock on the door,
an ATF letter saying, hey, this trigger is all right, which I don't agree with it, but I don't want to get my people hemmed up.
I've been trying to get a sponsorship from BW Firearms, and every time I ask him, he just says no. Stop calling.
I'm sure he just doesn't say no.
Yeah, well, we're trying to save something.
Look, I'm trying to whore for everybody, and nobody will even talk to me.
Yeah, right. Like I'll sell out to the first person that gives me like $5 and a Diet Coke.
Yeah,
I
call people up, and this is Richard from BWE Firearms, and all I hear is click.
Well,
these are people I know too.
Yeah, well, I had tons and tons of NFT offers.
Like crypto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of NFT. What's that?
Like shout them out?
Yeah.
NFT, nice fucking titties.
Non-fungible token. It's geek stuff.
Yeah, I get tons of them, but there's too many out there that are just like straight up scams.
Yeah. So anyhow, we kind of danced around a whole bunch of stuff. So Scotty, when I saw you on Dark Show, you weren't moving your middle finger, so it looks like you're moving your middle finger. And just in case the people didn't get it, you had your hand like this on the slide. Oh, let me get a slide. You had your hand like this on the slide.
Yep. It's a little World War I pocket pistol. I got pretty decent sized hands, so I tried my best to be safe, but worst case scenario. Well, it was best than worst case scenario. I could still do this. So
good deal. I mean that's and how many days ago was that?
This was the 12th. Actually, 7 days ago to the dot, like nearly to the minute. That's
crazy. That's crazy. So good for you. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
And I'm not sure about YouTube's rules, but I'll unbandage myself and let you guys see it. I don't mind. It's just whatever Crump would like to do. Again, however way he decides to do it.
Sure. I don't care.
Cool. All right.
So, Scott, I hate asking this question this way. Do you live alone? What's your living situation?
I mean, I'm young. I'm 23 years old, so I'm still with my parents, but I'm saving up every dime in the crippling economy that is America. So in here we have our entry wound.
Wow.
And then over here we have our exit wound.
See, when I was watching you on Dark Show, I thought it went like straight like that. I didn't realize it was so.
Yeah, that was probably a miscommunication on my part because I told myself I shot myself in the hand, and that's the most likely scenario when you just go boom. And
I was like,
moral of the story is you are accepting the fact that you made a mistake, and it's more of a, hey, don't do this.
Yeah, spruce
public service announcement.
Boo-boo and got a boo-boo.
There have been a couple of times where I've racked a slide back. I'm like, holy cow, there's a round in that. Not like I was doing anything stupid with it, but I expected it to be empty, and I racked it. I'm like, oh, shoot. Was surprised, and again, treat every gun like it's loaded,
Because it usually is.
So
and never point it in any direction you don't want to put a hole in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm if you're using an example of that.
The cordless hole puncher. So, Scotty, you have a new name. It's Slamfire Scotty. Are you?
If you guys can come up with something more creative, 100%, I am all about it. Anybody who wants to roast me for it, please do. Learn from my idiocy. The only thing I ask of you, I'm actually premiering a new YouTube video, and excuse me for being a stupering idiot when it comes to the camera work, but when people tell you to keep the strap on you, it's not just this strap. It's this strap too. Gen 7 cat tourniquet. This thing literally saved my butt. Keep tourniquets near yourself and keep them openly accessible. One of the things that I learned that when this happened, I had to yell at my mom because I was slamming my hand against the floor just to keep pressure on it, stop bleeding. I had to yell at her to unlock this room. That's where I keep all my trauma and medical stuff. And now I'm just keeping it all around the house.
Good point.
Now, do you have any experience with like Stop the Bleed, or have you ever taken any like medical classes?
I actually am one of those weird gremlins who took one of the first cross classes for, I think it's basic lifesaver, but they wouldn't like give you that title. It was just one of those free ones where like, hey, you're donating some time with us, so we appreciate that. Here's some stuff that'll maybe help you out and you hopefully never have to use. But I ended up doing it.
Oh, well, at least you had some training. I'm actually taking a TAC med course with on-site firearms training this weekend. I can't wait.
Is that a Stop the Bleed, ALS, BLS, TCCC?
Yeah, it's pretty much every you make a hole, we learn how to fix it.
Cool.
It's not like a legit Stop the Bleed. It's like a little bit more involved. But I'm excited. I can't wait.
Are they going to teach you on the chest needle decompression?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you got a good class, man.
Yeah. On-site firearms training.
You know what I
amazing.
Do? I just hang out with the doctor about 95% of the time.
He married a doctor.
I was gonna say, I'm like, isn't the missus a doctor? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey, man.
So has she ever had to stitch you up?
Bleed out.
So, all right. I was sitting in this chair, and I don't have the pocket knife handy, but a pocket knife. And I was carving a piece of wood, and I slipped, and I like drag the blade across my thumb.
Oof.
And so I just, grabbed it like that. It's still like bleeding out. And I grabbed a paper towel, wrapped it around. It was still bleeding. I'm like, I'm going to have to get stitches. My wife works at the local hospital. Now, I was still in sweats, so I had to change my clothes while I had tools out, so I had to put the tools away in the shed first. And then my wife is OCD neat. So if she comes home and the bed isn't made and the bed wasn't made, so it's like I'm making the bed with one hand because I didn't want to drip blood on it. So and then I had to drive my car with a stick to the hospital.
You drove manual? Oof.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I just sliced my thumb, and it was like you probably could have put a butterfly on it and kept pressure on it for like an hour or two, and it would have been okay. Like maybe if I wrapped it, it would have been all right. But it needed some stitches to stop the bleed,
Yeah.
Super glue is wonderful stuff.
Right. I probably could have got away with some super glue.
Yeah, that's actually what they basically use on me. It's the Surgiglue. It starts with a D. It comes in like these little ampules. And the guy just put one on my palm, one right here. And he said, all right, well, I mean, we took x-rays. The only bone you actually broke was your metacarpal bone, which is the long bone from your knuckle to your wrist. They determined that, since I could do this, there was no nerve damage. Of course, there was a lot of welting and bruising inside there. So they wanted to actually hold off the orthopedic interview the orthopedic interview. Where I talked to the hand doctor. But since I could do this and the swelling would go down within 72 hours, he then determined that would probably be the best course of action.
So it's broken. You don't have chips in there, nothing like that.
I'm sorry, not broken. Fractured, I think is the word.
Fractured. Okay.
Yeah. They said they didn't have to cut me open again and just put those screws or whatever they do, like the brace inside. I just have to keep it on a splint. They would actually prefer me to take it off more often and just wash it up and just do small exercises like this. More and more I feel comfortable. I'm already typing on a keyboard with this hand, so I mean
oh wow,
the rate I am feeling is basically the Terminator 2, the silver guy.
Right.
I'm pretty much on his tier right now.
The polyolly alloy.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know a thing or two about something going through my hand. Talk to those hand doctors; they're very nice people. All right.
Yeah, the guy actually recommended a really good exercise. He said if I could figure out a way
never mind.
to figure out a way to
all of our heads went
this
there.
sort of motion and this sort of motion for about 10 to 30 seconds.
Were they laughing when they told you that?
No, this is all bullshit. I'm just having to joke with you.
I was going to say, what, they tell you to give you the shock weight?
Yeah.
The shake weight.
Yeah, shake weight. Sorry, I'm thinking.
Oh, I love that South Park. That's the best. And for those of you listening on Firearms Radio Network, watch the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Let's go ahead and talk about something else now that we went there. So I went to Range Day, Guns Out Range Day.
You did not
over the weekend.
Well, this was at XCal. You got to tell them where it was.
It was at XCal. This is the $30 million range, which is insanely nice.
So it's $5-6 million men worth.
Yeah, so Jared was there, and Jared's like, "Oh, they're starting to bring the cars in for the car show." I was like, and the guy's like, "No, that's just the regular customers."
There were McLarens pulling up.
McLarens and Lamborghinis and Ferraris. So he's like, "No, that's just our regular customers." No, but Jared was there, Braden from Langley Outdoors, John Patton from Gun Collective, Eric from IV8888, Chad from IV8888, the guys from Guns Out TV were there, some Rival Sisters, Jay the Shooter, Mr. Wilkes,
Dark,
yeah, Dark
I
was
wasn't
there.
And I was home.
German Bond. That's it. Thank you.
So it was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with those guys. Dark got to hang out with those guys.
what was it? Saturday, Dark was out till was it Friday? Dark was out till like 2 a.m. with the guys.
Yeah, I left at 1. I was like, I'm going home.
No, you left at 12:30 because you called me.
No, 12:30. Okay, well, I left at 12:30. Whatever. I just like.
I'm just saying. I'm kind of upset I didn't get an invite, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, so I was planning on Dark hanging out with the guys Saturday night, and so I told Jared to make a Slurpee. Joe, tell him he likes Slurpees, or
I love that story.
And what was the other
give
one?
Him a Slurpee.
And what was the other one? There was another one. I think I texted Eric. I'm like, when you see Dark. Hold on, I got to look at my text messages.
I fell asleep on my couch when I got home on Saturday. So poor Dark.
I think he could handle himself. He beat Chad in a game of pool, apparently. So
yeah, he did. He was very happy when he met Taryn Butler because Taryn came up and he was like, "Hey, what's up?" So not much, Taryn. I was like, "This is my friend Dark," and Dark's like, "I love your stuff. I love your stuff."
Dark is so funny because Dark totally fanboys on
certain people
personalities.
Yeah,
so it's very funny.
I brought him to the VIP party, and he thought that was like the baddest ass stuff.
Well, did he fanboy more, or who was the most he fanboyed over? Was it mostly just Taryn or
somebody else?
It was all of them, but when you saw Taryn, because Taryn came up, Dark's talking to me. This is on Saturday, and Taryn comes up behind Dark and is like, "Hey, how's it going?" I was like, "Not bad." And Dark turned around and he's like, "Oh, it's Taryn Butler, the guy that trained
your shit."
You're like, come to me.
Okay, who's
the guy that trained John Wick?
Taryn Butler, Taryn Tactical. He does like competitions and shit like that, but also
he does all the training to all the stars. He does all the movies and stuff.
That's probably why I don't know who the hell.
Except the movie Rust.
Yeah, he didn't do Rust. So, so Dark was like freaking out. Dark was freaking out on Saturday when I brought him. I brought him to the anyone know where I can get her holster? I'm feeling risky.
What's up, Risky?
Wow.
Oh, on Amazon. Should I drop the Amazon link?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You could just say and grab a JM4 tactical holster, but that's just me.
What would be the ultimate power play is to ask them for like a sponsorship and then just immediately fucking dirt their product. Sorry for the F-bomb. No, I don't do that.
No, but it was fun. So Dark hung out with everyone. He was like picking everyone's brain, which is a good thing to do.
Oh yeah. He told me he was talking to a lot of guys about YouTube ins and outs.
Good for him.
So he had a lot of fun, which is the thing he did.
This was so fun. I want to tell this story. So Misty, Ron Wayne's wife, like I was talking to Ron, I think it was like 90 minutes one day. I was on the way home from a gun show. And, Misty came home and I guess I was on speaker. And she's like, "Who are you talking to?" And he's like, "Rich." She's like, "Rich who?" She was all like, "No, you're not." So that was so funny. So yeah, it's funny when I don't know if I was talking to John about this earlier. I think I was. I don't know. Like I guess in the gun community, I've met Eric and Chad, and they've just been so crazy nice. I don't think I'd be starstruck meeting anybody in the gun community. And then John says, "Well, what about Demo Ranch?" I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't
talking about Demo Ranch. You're talking about Eric's probably has like one of the most the biggest following.
Well known. I was saying, yeah.
I was like, I think Demo Ranch probably has the biggest following of any gun person.
So let me just say, I know somebody that knows Demo Ranch and says he's a good guy. So, but I'm just saying, I don't know that I would be like nervous, you know.
I'm awkward when people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, you're so and so," and I'm like, "What?"
That's the funniest thing. I was like, I'm like, really?
I brought 100 Wolverine patches and I ran out.
So John was telling me about this earlier, that a lot of the people that are members and not low end members, high end members at the range were watching viewers of the show and know John's videos.
Yeah, one of the watchers of the show, I looked up his price, a $3.5 million car.
Well, when you own the dealership, you can have that car.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your retirement? You're gonna own a McLaren dealership?
No, this is Lamborghini.
Oh. I mean, it's the same thing, you know. It's supercar, you know.
Yeah.
Well, no, McLarens aren't made by Volkswagen.
I was completely making a sarcastic joke. I have no idea the difference. I'm not a car guy.
I'm poor, so put it over my
Yeah,
head.
I want to buy a Subaru. Okay, like, come on.
I own a Subaru.
Yeah, not impressed by any of the supercars.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I used to be all sorts of enamored about like an Aston Martin Vantage, and then I've seen people fixing them online. I'm like, hell no, avoid like the plague. What I am interested in is the new Corvette Z06, because hey, it's a Chevy, 670 horsepower, mid-engine.
No supercharged, naturally aspirated.
Naturally aspirated. Yeah, what, 8,600 RPM? I mean, that's going to be crazy. Not that I can afford it today.
I just can't get into all these new supposed supercars. Maybe it's because I grew up with, you know, I learned how to drive, you know, what the hell was I running? I guess I learned how to drive a McLaren, one of the McLaren race cars on a track. That's where I got.
Really?
Yeah. One of my friends, I worked for him, and he's like, "Well, you don't know how to fucking drive." I said, "Yeah, I do. I got my driver's license." He said, "You don't know how to fucking drive." And it was
that's
him
crazy.
And
that is awesome.
Oh God, what is the actor that used to race all the time?
Oh, Porsches?
Yeah.
But what is the guy? The movie was Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen.
Died
it was between him and Steve McQueen were teaching me how to drive. Steve
oh,
McQueen
jeez, that's a story you hold back on?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the bastards. Steve McQueen needed what the hell did he need to do? Change the brakes on his car. And the guy was working for said, "Oh, Richard will do it." And he had me working on Steve McQueen's car while those two bastards drank champagne. I'm like, fuck you both.
Now, did they get out and drive after drinking?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
I actually had to drive my boss home.
Okay, so Tyven has a Cadillac CTS-V. I think he did an upgrade on the supercharger for a different pulley. I forget how much horsepower he's doing. But cool car, which they are rocketing up in price. So I think Tyven bought at the right time.
You know what car that I really fanboyed over?
Oh, I know which one you've been fanboying over.
What, a Ford Pinto?
No, there was one I fanboyed over.
The Unicorn.
The Unicorn, but no, there was one there that I fanboyed over. Someone had a 1974 Nissan Fairlady Z.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. I like the old, the old cars that it was you in the car. The car didn't do shit that you didn't tell it to do.
Right. Well, that's what I got right now because I have a bad ABS sensor, so it's no driver stability, augmentation, no ABS, nothing right now.
Here's a story for you, Rich, a car story. Worked for the guy who taught me how to drive. Was working for him for the summer. He had just bought a new trailer. And actually, the one day I went into work and he handed me a briefcase and he said, go jump in the semi with the semi driver. You're going up to Michigan to pick up a trailer for me. Okay. So we go up to Michigan and it was, he bought one of the race car trailers from Pizza Hut, Domino's Pizza, one of the two of them. And the guy's like, okay, did you bring the money? The fuck are you talking about? I don't have any money. I got like $3 in my pocket. And he called my boss, and my boss is like, oh, give him the briefcase. $60,000 in the briefcase, cash.
That must have been some trailer.
Wow.
I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? And he's like,
did you leave the briefcase?
Yeah.
Did you leave the briefcase of the car with the doors unlocked?
Yeah, I didn't know. Was in the semi.
To answer Safety Harbor Firearms, that right there is a GS30. It's a fairly
that's the 2+2, right?
Yeah, 2+2. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that era of cars, man. Monte Carlo 88 SS. Oh man.
I hate to say it. I used to be a big Motorhead in love with the vintage Barracudas and all that stuff. I don't want to touch anything that has a carburetor or a distributor cap anymore.
I want to get a Grand Prix.
I just want to get a car.
Dude. All right, Walter, I got a ride. Actually, I didn't get a ride. When I was working as a Porsche repairman, I did have a customer with a 914.6, and that there's nothing cooler than being in a mid-engine car with a 50-50 weight bias and being in a neutral drift around a corner. Oh my gosh!
I said Grand Prix, but I meant Grand National. Sorry,
Buick Grand National.
Yeah,
which was faster than the Corvette of the same year.
Yes, they were badass.
And the FBI had 500 special high horsepower versions of that built for them.
Wow. Yeah, that was back in the era, like when Hoffman was saying when it was you in the car and you weaponize your vehicle.
Yeah.
Basically.
But, that trailer that I picked up, like, we brought it back. I worked with guys in the paint shop. We repainted the whole thing, got it beautiful. Like a week later, the guy ran it into a fence.
Oh, geez.
The driver and peeled open half the freaking trailer.
Oh, wow.
And it had 300 or 400 or 500 gallons of race fuel in the tanks.
Oh, man.
In the trailer. He had just filled it up with methane blue.
Good God.
And he's like, okay, we gotta redo the trailer, empty the tanks. And I'm like, where the hell do you want me to empty the tanks to? And he's like, I don't care, just get rid of it. Man, you've never seen a tow motor run so good. Filled the tow motors up with methane blue. Filled everybody's car up with methane blue. I'm getting 55-gallon drums, washing them out, filling them up. And I'm like, okay, I'm about half full. I'm out of drums. He throws me the keys to his house. He said, go start bringing cars down. Okay. Drove his aluminum-bodied Goldwing Mercedes down, filled it up, took it back. Drove his 930 Porsche. A couple of his McLarens. What the hell else did he have? He had all kinds of shit.
No,
and he got mad at me when he found me with a 35-gallon can in the back of my car filling it up. And he's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm getting rid of the gas. And he's like, if you're going to put it in drums, I'm keeping it. It's like, you're a prick.
Yeah. What's up?
Oh,
dude?
that's
Yeah,
funny.
Man,
Putin keeps telling me to shave my beard again.
Do it.
you
Oh,
want to
by the
talk
way-
about
Didn't
tires on a tow motor?
Oh, by the way, Eric and Chad bought the Mutant there, the 762, with the loudest brake I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, the brakes they put on those are insane.
It's like
bad.
an
Pretty useless.
opposite suppressor. It's like a louder.
right.
I would kill to be like that tier of rich one day, Hoffman. Just like they get so much money that I could like have a McLaren 1-of-1 Nueve, like just something completely custom built by McLaren themselves. Take it to like a car meet or something, and I'm just sitting there eating Ben and Jerry's like a total idiot. Just be like, yeah, man, they put like a socket 18 gas cap on it or something. Man, I have no fucking idea. Just played absolute fool. Not like I don't even know what I got, but I just like bought it.
You know, I was watching
Yeah.
the show on the abandoned supercars in Dubai.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, how they just abandoned them because basically, if you can't pay your bills, instead of like ruining your credit, they throw you in prison. So people flee the country, and they just leave their abandoned supercars in the desert.
Why wouldn't you take them with you?
Maybe you can't that fast. Maybe you only took the good ones.
I don't know.
I
But
mean,
they
they do
have all
guzzle
these-
gas, and there's not a whole lot of infrastructure down there, so I would just run it on empty and then take something.
That's what car haulers are for.
What the hell?
You know.
Somebody always complains when I don't mute my phone.
I was gonna
No,
say,
but
I'm like,
my phone's not muted and no one's calling.
It's the FBI.
The Fred,
that's-
Yeah.
they're tapping
our
his
friend
phone.
Fred.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
Ed-
what cars.
It's Ed
My
the Fed.
I don't know if it's the Gullwing Mercedes, the 55 Gullwing, or the 60s vintage GT40 Ford.
Oh, gosh. Well,
Driven
so
them both.
a Gullwing Mercedes recently went for I think 150 million at auction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the GT40s.
GT40s were all made in pairs.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Because they were all race cars. Every single one of them was a race car. And so they'd build two, race them, see what changes needed to be made, and build two more. And the guy I worked for had one. Man, that was a beautiful car. He was a prick, though. Every time we went to show a car, he'd pull one of his cars next to us. Wouldn't show it in the show. He'd just park it next to us in the spot. And his cars were all immaculate.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're a fucking prick. So my mom was an artist. So on his GT40 Ford, he had a really nice board he had made up that, 1967 GT40 Ford. This was the whatever number car it was made. It raced in Le Mans these years, blah, 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 blah. And so we had my mom make up a new board for him. 1967 kit car, VW engine, 80 miles an hour down a big hill, the whole thing. And we put it in front of his car. My dad got him away, and I went and switched the boards. And it looked like his board, so unless you read it, you couldn't tell. The whole show, these fucking idiots are coming up to him. Hey, where do I get me one of them cars? And he's like,
jeez.
it's a fucking $1 million car. What are you talking about? I want to build me one of them. Where do I get the kit? And it was like 3/4 of the way through the show before he realized what was going on. We're laughing our asses off. The judges came around to judge our car. I think I was showing the Gullwing at that point. And the one judge comes up to me and laughing his ass off. And he's like, I know you did that. And it's like, yeah, we did that. And he's like, that is so goddamn funny. He's like, has he realized yet? It's like, no, he hasn't. I said, but his original board is in the trunk, so I hope you don't deduct points for that. And he's like, I'm going to give you a couple of points for that.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
That was so funny. He was so mad. And the last time I saw him, was probably 15 years after the show. He had our sign up on his wall in his shop by the GT.
Oh, that's funny.
That's awesome.
That car was fun.
GT40.
First car I went 100 miles an hour between stoplights on the street. And the first car I went 200 miles an hour on the track.
All right, Rich, you can't answer this. What country built the GT40? Rich, you can't answer this. I know you know the answer.
Me or the other Rich?
Either of us.
Neither of you guys.
Germany.
No. Scotty?
Well,
Rhoda,
Richard, they have plants in Germany also.
What? Yeah. You
I'm
want
not a
to
car
Yeah,
guy.
I know what town they were built in like, I can't go any further.
Italy? Nope. Croatia? Nope. France? Nope. GT40. Come on, Scotty.
No Googling. No Googling.
No,
Googling.
Uzbekistan. What was that, Scotty?
No Googling.
No Googling.
Not Bosnia.
Oh,
Oh, come on, Ron Wayne. You got to know this.
Poland.
Not Poland.
You put it in reverse, they go forward.
The UK.
No, that's the Polish army tanks.
UK. Chris Bullis got it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Of all
Is the
places,
GT40 a
or
Porsche?
Ford?
Ford.
No, Ford.
Yep.
I'm not a car guy.
Oh, yeah, we had Walter. Walter's probably been to the factory there.
Yeah, those new GTs look like the original, but they're not even fucking close.
Yeah, the original GT40 were built in England.
Yeah, they were a beast. This guy, when he bought his GT40, he literally bought it in boxes. It was completely stripped apart in boxes.
Wow.
Guy was selling it over in Europe. He went over to Le Mans one year and found some guy who had it in boxes, and he said, "I'll buy it. Here's a check. Ship it over to the U.S."
Wow.
Yeah, no
That's
boxes
crazy.
party.
Why
We're
was
unboxing.
GT40 built?
Huh?
Why was the
When was it
GT40 built?
Oh,
Yeah, why?
who gets the answer?
Anyone?
It was
Well-
60.
No, why?
No, why?
Why?
So the why is because
Beat the
Ford was
Ferraris.
going to buy Ferrari, and Ferrari, they're still out to lunch on this or debate on this, whether Ferrari was just entertaining an offer from Ford to drive up the purchase price to Fiat. Ferrari sold to Fiat, and Ford decided they wanted to punish them by beating them at Le Mans because Ferrari had the Le Mans, I think the most Le Mans wins at the time.
Yeah.
And they
They
beat
were
the crap out of
unstoppable.
them.
I'm looking at the spec sheet right now, though. A 7,000cc V8. I know bikes more, but I mean, that's very damn impressive for how it looks like a really small car.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Real light. It's not a small car. It's, in the
OG
pictures
muscle
it looks
versus
small
long.
because it's so short.
Yeah.
So
But,
there's another interesting Ferrari vengeance story. Lamborghini was a manufacturer of tractors,
Oh, yeah,
and
I know this
he
one.
wanted to meet with Enzo Ferrari, and Enzo was a bit of a recluse, and he wouldn't meet with Lamborghini, and Lamborghini said, "Fine, I'll build a better car."
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at 80s and 90s auto car magazines reviews of Lamborghinis, they would consistently make the joke that the gear shift was like a tractor.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get a Lamborghini tractor. Just fucking have a Lamborghini.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Maybe you can
Make a
arrange
Killdozer out of
that. And Johnny Barr with the interesting trivia. What does the 40 stand for in the GT40? Who knows the answer?
I don't.
Really?
Lamborghini tractors.
It was 40 inches tall.
Yeah, the
So-
doors were deadly on those things because it's like a regular car door,
But it was
then
cut into the
on
roof.
top, it's cut in. It's got a panel probably, this big that cuts into the roof.
Mhm.
Well, when you don't realize it, you get out of that car, it wants to cut you in half.
Dude,
Yep.
I can get a Lamborghini tractor for like, oh my goodness, for only a few $1,000s.
There you
I'll go halves in on you for that.
He's probably already put a down payment on it at this point.
I'll kick in for it.
We can say we owned a Lamborghini. We own a Lamborghini.
Take it to a car, drive it to a car show. Tell everybody I'm bringing my Lamborghini and pull up in a tractor.
Honestly,
The
I think
fuck
that
is
gives you
that?
even
It's a
more
fucking
cred.
Lamborghini. Look.
I think that even gives you like more cred pulling up to it like that.
Yeah.
Are you guys into bikes at all, or?
I mean, I
a little bit of a
appreciate
Harley.
them.
You can-
All right.
bit of a Harley
So not
nerd.
like suicide vehicles, crotch
No.
rockets, Yamaha,
No.
Kawasaki. All right.
Harley.
Yeah,
did.
that's actually how I got my first injury on this hand. Matched up all the flesh from like right here to my wrist, and I skid about a solid 60 yards. If I was going about 10 miles an hour faster, the way I landed, my helmet would have probably cracked my neck on the curb.
The only accident I ever got in with a motorcycle was I was drunk one night and thought it was smart. Me being almost 400 pounds and 6'2" ish, and getting on a Yamaha 80 dirt bike going down a wet hill, and I didn't know how to ride a dirt bike. I fell, and I thought I broke my arm. Went to the hospital, and they're like, "There's nothing wrong. You just got to put ice on it and don't get drunk and get on a child's dirt bike thinking you can drive it."
I once came down from a jump and flipped a dirt bike over me.
I got some stories about motorcycles.
This
Yeah.
is why we're not getting into that, John. We all know you are a firefighter. You've seen some gross stuff.
Yeah, I grew up on dirt bikes and then I got on a street bike. Not a good thing to do.
Dude, this one guy was drunk and he wrecked his bike, and his leg got caught on the guardrail. And he kept on going, but his leg didn't.
Yee.
Ugh. Yeah,
Not a
that's
good
messed
story.
up.
Brig.
One of
Goodness.
my colleagues went over there, and he kicked it a couple times and goes, "I think it's dead."
Oh.
Yeah, that's messed up.
No, it wasn't a leg. It was an arm, I believe. It was an arm. It was an arm.
All right, I got to tell, since we're doing arm jokes,
No, it was
my
an
dad
arm.
worked with a guy, and this is back when you drank at work kind of thing. So the guy was coming home,
The good
and he was riding with his arm, his left arm with his watch on it out the window, and he sideswiped a tree and got his arm torn off. And he's asking, "Hey, where's my arm?" They're like, "Well, you can't have that." He's like, "I don't care about my arm. I want my damn watch back."
No, but the guy we were on him there had like his arm got ripped off, and he's like, "I'm fine." It's like, we don't.
I seen this in a movie,
What?
Monty Python.
It's a
Oh, you
flesh
hit him
wound.
with the knife? It's a flesh wound. The guy was so drunk and so high that he's like, "Oh, I'm fine." It's like, oh,
No, you're not.
we're
Don't
putting
lie.
the tourniquet on your arm so you won't bleed out.
He
you
needs
know.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you're better off just letting them bleed out.
It's like, we're cool. See you later.
One less idiot in the world. Some people are
Darwin
just
Award.
too stupid to live.
Yeah, it's the Darwin Award, natural selection.
Yep.
Right?
Joke.
No, he
course,
was just
joke.
He was drunk, high, and in shock. So
Triple protected.
yeah.
Full spectrum.
Alrighty, guys. I think it's time to wrap.
Yes, it is.
I
All
do
right,
rap.
guys. Go around and to say where they can find you at. Rich, you run it.
So Flying Rich everywhere, including MySpace, except Instagram, where I'm Flying Rich _official. And up to you, Scotty.
Something Original XX. You can find me on YouTube. I don't have a whole lot of social media. I try to stay away from that stuff, but I'm growing my professional life, so you might find me on Instagram in the future.
Okay, Richard Hoffman.
You can find me on all the social medias, on whatever version of BWE firearms they make me use.
Joe.
You can find me at Shooting Gallery NE on YouTube, also on Instagram at Shooting Gallery New England, and on TikTok at Shooting Gallery NE. Check out my backup page as well. Tonight we have the Shooting Loads podcast, episode 166. We're going to have Bending Ballistics and Bolts for Bucks on the show at 7:30 Eastern, so check it out.
I'm going to use my plug time to plug Safety Harbor Firearms on Hank's show on Utreon, Hank Strange on Utreon.
So 7 to 9.
7 to 9. Yeah, I'll be on there on Wednesday, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Dope.
And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, don't shoot your hand.
Thank you guys for having me. I always appreciate it.
You can shoot your load, just don't shoot your hand.